Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You have many questions? Sure, we'll take a few questions tonight, perhaps, maybe 2, maybe 3. And inshallah ta'ala, hopefully, if Allah gives us life, and also light. Life and light. Midnight ta'ala. Tomorrow we'll try to take the questions that we can, inshallah. No, you can't ask no questions, Nafis.
Question from online.
NH, huh? NAH. Nah. Nafi, huh? So they call him in Guyana, Nafi. Negation. Huh? It makes total sense now. Nah. Allah Akbar. Deep. Languages, huh? This they call him Guyana, Nafi. Nafi. Negated one. Manfi, huh? Rejected.
That was the whole question.
No questions from you, Nafis. If there are no questions online, then we will humbly, gracefully, bow out and close the curtain.
Brother, initials SM from Toronto, Canada.
Samir. Hayakallah, Sheikh Samir. Marhaba.
My daughter says LOL, Abby. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. How do you come to a conclusion between differences of opinions amongst ulama, especially when the different opinions are backed up by authentic dalil?
Is that Samir or somebody else?
It's Shoaib Muhammad.
I was wrong. Alhamdulillah. Happy? I said on camera, I was what? It's wrong. There's no problem saying that. Tayyib. Bismillah. As far as if the person is a talib ilm, strong student of knowledge, or even in the middle, it's one thing. As far as if it's an issue in which the dalil, even though it's on both sides, but the dalil on one side is strong and clear, it's one thing, one scenario. As far as if the dalil is muhtamala, could go both ways. Numerous hadiths, numerous athar, numerous ayat, numerous interpretations. It could go both ways. Tazahum aslain. The two principles going against each other. The asl is this, but the asl is that it's not a mandatory until that. It could go both ways, then that's a different scenario. So a layman Muslim has certain principles that protect him or her from falling into confusion and from doing something that's haram or leaving off something that's mandatory. From those principles, these means of insulation, padding. Number one is going with qawlul akthar, the statement of the majority. Most of the ulama held this view. Most of the fuqaha held this view. Most of the salaf al-salih interpreted like this. For the layman, not for the talib al-ilm that's strong or even in the middle. So the strong student of knowledge or the student of knowledge that's intermediate, then he has to look into the dalil and make a conclusion, regardless whether it's a few or most. But we're talking about a layman or a beginning student, a student that's not that firm, not that strong yet. Everybody understand this? From the ways or the things that give protection to the layman or the baby student of knowledge from doing something haram or leaving out something or just being questioned and punished by Allah, from the things that protect him from these dangers is what? Staying with the majority. That's number one. Number two is the person to take the view which has precaution in it. Precaution. Some of the ulama say a woman does not have to cover her hands and her face in front of non-mahrams. And others say that a woman has to cover her hands and her face in front of non-mahrams. A woman, a brother who's confused, I don't know, he should do what? Even if it goes against the statement of the majority. He's to take the view that has the what? Precaution. If my wife covers her hands and her face, she's not doing anything wrong. whether it's mandatory or not. But if she doesn't cover her hands and her face, then according to these ulama, she's doing something. Everybody understand that? And this cannot be explained in words. How much safety a Muslim has by following this principle. Number 3, third principle, a way of padding yourself, protecting yourself, is taking the fatwa of the alim or the ulama that you trust and respect the most, that you feel are the best or better or stronger. I'm not saying this is the right thing, but I know specifically Imam John. I know him personally. I sat with him, I drank coffee with him, I heard him talk. I think that he's more knowledgeable than Imam Mufti. I just think so. Mufti may be right, Mufti may be more knowledgeable, but I feel that of the two, he's stronger. I respect him more. His deen to me seems stronger than Mufti's deen. So I want to what? Everybody understand this? That's protection. It doesn't mean John could be wrong, Mufti could be right. But he goes with what he knows, when he feels comfortable with regards to him feeling more respect for this alim over that alim, this imam over that imam, this mufti over that mufti. Everybody understand this? So these are 3 golden rules, and there are others, 3 golden rules. All 3 of them are golden. With regards to the layman Muslim, with regards to the beginning student of knowledge. As far as the student of knowledge that can think, that can decipher, that can read, even if it's limited, then that's what you have to do. That's what? That's what you have to do. As far as the student of knowledge that can be independent and make his own ijtihad, then that's what he or she has to do. And you cannot throw away your brain for a scholar. If it's an issue that's extremely fierce, then even the talib al-ilm could possibly take those principles as well. Could take those what? Those principles as well. Everybody understand this? But that's not the first mode of action for a strong student of knowledge. Strong student of knowledge has these books. Sharh Sahih Muslim, volume 3, page kada. Read. Qala Ata, Qala Tawus, this book, that book. No. Debate, research, decipher. Use your mind. And not just to be a goat or sheep that walks to the sheikh. No. Everybody understand this? So that's general. So it has to be a difference between who is the person. Layman is not a talib ilm. Student knowledge 2 years, 3 years, is not like a student knowledge that's graduated. A talib that's graduated is not a student knowledge who has another graduation, another level. It's not the same. Everybody understand it's not what? It's not the same. So it depends. The issue of aqidah is not like an issue of halal and haram. Issue of halal and haram is not like an issue of zuhd and fada'il and raqa'iq, etc. So there has to be detail. There has to be what? Has to be detail. One of the biggest mistakes that we make is putting the level or putting the layman on the level of the alim or on the level of the student and taking the alim or the talib and bringing him down to the level of the layman. This is something that many people do, unfortunately. They take the 9 to 5 Muslim that can't speak, read, understand anything, and they throw it at him and they push him into issues and they tell him to make your own ijtihad. That's horrendous. And there are other people, because that's just one side of the extremes. There's one group of zealots. And then many of them, may Allah not make them more. And the other ones, whatever they call themselves, your student of knowledge, you studied overseas for 20 years. We didn't see you in the class, the sheikh's class. You don't sit with the ulama. We didn't see you in the class. The sheikh is teaching them beginner's book on aqidah. I've been in Yemen for 20 years. You expect me to sit in that class? That doesn't make sense. And wallahi, people that say this, he doesn't sit with the ulama because he's not learning the ABCs like you. He was learning those ABCs before you took your shahada. When you were a kafir, a mushrik, making zina, chasing girls around. He was studying that book, memorizing that book, and then he has to sit in the same class with, that doesn't even make sense. Or a fiqh issue. Oh, you can't bring kuffar into the masjid. We asked the ulama, and they said it is haram. Okay, well, I studied what Imam Shafi'i and Imam Malik said. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal said. Why do I have to take the statement of this current day scholar? That doesn't even make sense. So they want someone who's on this level, and they want to what? Drag them down to being a layman. Throw your brain because Sheikh Fulan said it. The ulama said it. That's horrible. Both of these two sides are what? Disgusting. Wal'iyadhu. It's just that simple. And it's extremely dangerous. And doing what? Both levels of extremism. It's what? Extremely dangerous. And it's detrimental to Islam. It will destroy wal'iyadhu billah, the deen of the Muslims. When the learned man acts and behaves like a fool. And when the fool behaves and acts like a learned man and gives fatwas and makes ijtihad, it's disaster. Wal-iyadhu billah. Wallahu alam.
We got a lot of questions from online, inshallah. Let them know tomorrow the question and answer session.
Tomorrow will be the question and answer session. Maybe we'll take one or two more questions, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, the disciples are hungry. That's good. Yeah.
Initials MC from New Jersey. What is a woman allowed to wear in her home in front of her fathers, brothers, children, etc.?
We say, first and foremost, she can expose her face, her hands, her hair, her neck, her feet, her ankles, and parts of her shanks or her shins. For those, okay? These are the things that she can show in front of her mahrams with regards to actual skin, seen skin. As far as with regards to tightness or looseness, then it depends on the garment and it depends on the woman's body build. Even though the general rule is that tight clothes are means of drawing attention to yourself, could be means of infatuation, means of erotic thoughts, or whatever the case may be. That's the general rule of anything tight. But obviously, a girl that has on jeans in her house with her father and mother, she has on a shirt and jeans that aren't super tight, but they're not super loose, and she's a thin girl. It's not like the same as a woman who's buxom, big, thick. It's not the same. It's a difference, obviously. Everybody understand this? This is a reality. You with me, Sharif, or not? You sure? Tight. This is a reality. Okay, a woman who has a tight shirt and she has small breasts. It's not like the woman who has large breasts in a tight shirt. There's a world of a difference. Even though the general rule of tight clothes is that, okay, they draw attention. Everybody understand this? But it's not the what? It's not the same. Body, build, and type has to be taken into consideration. Has to be what? Taken into consideration. Everybody understand this? So we mentioned two things so far. Skin, seeing, face, hair, neck, hands, forearms. So that's wearing a short sleeve shirt in front of your father. That's fine. Everybody understand this? The short sleeve, we didn't say a shirt or halter top. Said short sleeve. That's fine. Everybody understand this? A sister, she has on a skirt in front of her father. A skirt. And the skirt comes to the middle of her shank. The middle of her shin. That's tayyib. Labas, as far as skin. It has nothing to do with the tightness. Now, let's say everything is covered. She has on socks, a long sleeve shirt, but it's tight. It should not necessarily be skin tight in front of her mahrams. It shouldn't be skin tight. However, something that's generally fitting or relatively snug is not necessarily haram unless it's a means of infatuation. Okay? And from the things that pertain to this, as we said, is the woman's what? Body build. How her body is. Even though that's relative. That's what? That's relative. But the general rule. Obviously, no one common sense is going to reject the same. Everybody understand this? Next point of reflection is, who is this mahram? Someone that's pious and righteous, a good father, or someone who's sick mentally and not that righteous and not that religious. It's a different story. It's a what? Total different story. Everybody understand this? It's a total different story. Let alone how you walk, how you talk, and how you conduct yourself. Everybody understand this? Only Allah knows what happens in some Muslim homes, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, of perversion and of sickness. Only Allah knows. Everybody understand this? And molestation, rape, these things are realities, unfortunately. And this is something all people are afflicted by. The black, the white, the yellow, the rich, the poor. And it's no different than the Muslim home. It shouldn't be like that. Muslims should have some limits, but it does happen. And I myself, I can tell you, I've had plenty of sisters come up to me, ask me questions, call, email, and they say I was molested when I was younger. My stepfather, my mother married somebody else in the masjid, brother Fulan, you know him, with the big beard. Abu Fulan, unfortunately, waliyadu billah, molested me. And he did this and he did that. It's a reality, a sad reality. Okay? So some of the reasons behind this, not saying this is an excuse, but some of the reasons behind this is indecent dress. Then we also have the concept of a brother, and I'm going to say this openly, I'm not talking about nobody specifically. He has 5 daughters in his house. All of them are grown. She's 16, she's 19, she's 20, she's 25, and the oldest one, for example, is 33. She was married and she got divorced, she's back home. And the father has no efforts in marrying these women off. No efforts. He doesn't go to the good young brothers. Lutfi, I have a daughter. Would you be interested, Akhi? I think you're a good brother. Yusuf, I have a daughter. Talib, I have a nice daughter. She'd be nice for you. Nice, beautiful, righteous daughter. Perhaps. Okay. He has no concern of marrying not one, not two, 5 daughters in one household. So what happens in that household? He has a wife and he has 5 other women in that household. They're not girls, they're women now. All right? Grown, developed bodies. They use the bathroom, makeup, this, that, shoes, clothes, attitudes, problems, menstruation. It's dangerous now. So she can't dress the way she wants to dress. Or she may dress the way she wants to dress. She wants to wear short stuff or tight stuff. Or she's hot. Or she's cold and she's this, she's that. It's a mushkila. It's a problem. It's a problem. And from the reasons behind this is that those women should be married. Should marry them off. Try to marry them off. Inshallah, try to find a good, righteous, religious, mature brother to take your daughters and marry them. So therefore, it depends on the mahram. Some fathers are sick, as we said. Some fathers are religious, they're pious. This is my daughter, I never even think about it like that. It's my daughter, I knock on the door before are you there? Food, eat, we're going, getting ready. Some fathers, they're just busting to the room. You're my daughter, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Knock first, you're my daughter. Or the bathroom, she's using the bathroom. Or she's brushing up, or she having shorts and a halter top, she just woke up. Okay, she's brushing the teeth, he walks in like it's nothing. And then we have some fathers who understand the sunnah, the etiquettes of the sunnah, knocking, seeking permission. She's not a little girl anymore. Her body is not the body of a little girl, and perhaps her mind is not the mind of a little girl. Knock first. You don't know what's going on in her room. You don't know what she's doing. You know what situation she's in. Knock first in the bathroom. Make sure, put a lock inside of the bathroom door. Make sure. Everybody understand this? So it depends on who's the what? Who's the actual mahram. We didn't get into brothers, and the same rules apply to what? To those brothers. Brothers that are fusaq, drink, smoke, don't pray, maybe kuffar, Allahu alam, or brothers who do pray and are religious. A brother who's religious, a sister should not uncover in front of someone who's not religious. There's a difference. Everybody understand this? An uncle. What type of uncle is this? Is he married or he's single? He's 45 years old and he's single. 50 and he's single. What's going on? No kids. You might have an uncle, 50, 60 years old, no kids, never been married. What's going on? Something's what? Seriously wrong. Yeah, you haven't been married, you don't have no kids from zina? Something's wrong in 2017. You have no contact with a woman on record? Something's what? Seriously wrong. Whether he's hiding it or not, something's not right. Everybody understand this? That's not the same as an uncle with a beard. He has a wife. You know all of his daughters. Different story. Not saying that he can't make a mistake too, but it's a what? It's a difference between the level of religion, integrity, how they look at you, funny. Everybody understand this? He says, hello, how you doing? He gives you a hug. How does he give you a hug? It's difference, the different types of mahrams. And in 2017, you have to take extra precaution. You have to do what? Take extra precaution. So the general rule is that there is no specific restriction on what you can and cannot wear in front of mahrams. If it's a dress, if it's a skirt, if it's sweatpants and a shirt, if it's pants that are relatively tight, not super skin tight leggings. Everybody understand this? In general, normal house clothes, it's one thing. Wallahu la yuhibbul fasad. Says in the Quran, Allah does not love fasad, corruption. So whatever you understand that is, that's how it applies. And obviously a girl is different in front of her father, her brother, her little brother. It's different. Doesn't mean you can just wear something skin tight or super revealing or super provocative. Everybody understand this? Wallahu alam.
Can people that didn't come here and they could have came here maybe? Do we ask the question? Hadithdisciple.
Allahu Akbar. You make the decision.
Nah.
Same boat as me. Brother asked this. I didn't get to ask this question. And this was MS from Maryland. what is the case of the brothers of Yusuf calling him a thief? And is it treated the same as Ibrahim's lies? Same as Ibrahim's lies?
Inshallah, we will conclude our Q&A session tonight. Hopefully tomorrow that'll be the first question. Tomorrow night, bi-idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.